Good day, and welcome to the Daily Headline Newspaper Update on the Insider Podcast. I am Kayode Sonny, and with me today I have the Punch newspaper, Vanguard, The Nation, Nigerian Tribune, and the Daily Mirror. And starting off from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, the banner headline here on page 5, experts warn of dangers as Tinubu jacks up 2025 budget to 54.2 trillion naira, with riders as NAS promises to pass budget before end of February. It is in conflict with CBN policy, high cap boss. It will increase size of deficits, Adeosun ex-CIS president, why 2025 budget was increased to 54.2 trillion, budget minister. And looking on to some other stories on page 9, we have this one coming from the ICPC chairman. Our government officials paid for one hospital project 5 times. And on the sports page, on page 31, 2026 FIFA World Cup. Super Eagles receive Okoye boost ahead Rwanda-Zimbabwe ties. On page 8, PDP crisis. Board of Trustees orders NWC to swear in Ude Okoye as National Secretary. And on page 19, we have petrol ex-depot price drops by 2.7% to 895 naira. And on the front page of the Nation newspaper, the banner headline here, Bagudu, why Tinubu raised budget 2025 by 4.52 trillion naira, with riders 1 trillion naira for solid mineral sector. Bank of Agric gets 1.5 trillion naira for recapitalization in additional estimate. And also on the front page of the Nation, on page 6, Tinubu to hold talks with French leader Macron in Paris. On page 6, Senate okays sack of Abia Adamawa Sokoto Rex. On page 5, Owando distributes 1.2 billion naira shares to shareholders. On page 8, Customs Ministry meet over 4% levy on imported cargoes. Checking out some other stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper, Anyanwu Ude Okoye feud splits PDP. With rider, Board of Trustees relocates from Waterdale House, insist on March 13 NEC meeting. And also on page 8 of the Nation newspaper, we have this one from the INEC. INEC tenders Edo poll results before tribunal. Also on page 7, Abure accuses NLC of destabilizing LP. Now looking at the Nigerian Tribune for today on page 3, the banner headline, like governors, PDP Board of Trustees endorses Ude Okoye as National Secretary. With riders wants him sworn in immediately. It's an invitation to anarchy, says Anyanwu. On page 16, fire kills 17 children, injures 16 others in Zamfara Almajiri School. On page 4, government officials paid 100% for same hospital project 5 times without construction. ICPC boss with rider says another listed wife, son, in-law on payroll. Looking at some other stories on page 15, Tinubu approves 65 years retirement age for doctors, healthcare workers. On page 25, declare Ondo oil-producing coastal communities disaster zone. Reps tell federal government. On page 16, suspended Ogun monarch fails to meet bail conditions, remanded in Ilaro prison. On page 4, Tinubu writes Senate seeks increase of 2025 budget to 54.2 trillion naira. With rider, 4.5 trillion naira additional revenue will support economic diversification, says budget minister. And on page 6, CBN restricts BDCs to 1 dealer bank per week for $25,000 FX purchase. And checking out the Punch newspaper for today, the banner headline here, also talking about the budget. 54 trillion naira budget. Experts divided over raise. Federal government adds 4.5 trillion naira Agric infrastructure funds. With rider, president submits reviewed budget, MTEF to NAS. Federal government votes more funds for BOI, others. And this one coming from page 21, PDP Secretary, Wike camp kicks as Board of Trustees backs governors. Cessation, Nigeria didn't learn from civil wars, says Dogara. On page 2, transporters, NLC chapters TUC reject highway tolling. And on page 29 and 30, Dangote Refinery, FCCPC differ as NNPCL insists on fuel import, with Ryder Refinery exports jet fuel to Saudi Aramco. And this one on page 4, we see Tinubu demands school safe as fire kills 17 in Zamfara Islamic School. On pages 4 and 5, Ogun assault, Falana receives elderly victim, plans charges against remanded monarch. On page 5, Nollywood filmmaker jailed 5 years for drug trafficking. On page 18, Edo Tribunal, INEC lists 5 witnesses over governorship poll. And the last one out of Nigeria, this is from the Daily Mirror. We have Davina, life will never be the same after brain up. And also we are seeing blunders and tragedy. Also on the front page of the Mirror, failed by the state. We see families of 3 Knots victims tell us who let us down. Southport killer was dropped from watch list too early. And those are all the headlines from the newspaper in and outside of Nigeria for today. My name is Kayode Sonny, and thank you for tuning in to the Daily Headline Newspaper Update for today. And sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates right here on the Insider Podcast. Once again, my name is Kayode Sonny. See you next time.